Hi, welcome to this edition of Garden Guns. I'm shooting it in the conservatory. I'm just checking I've got the windows open. I'm hoping that sort of opening the windows and the doors will make a little bit of a difference to the echoiness. I'm hoping the sound won't be too rubbish because my R10 video that I did, the sound was pretty bad on that. But anyway, what are we here to talk about today? We are here to talk about this bit of goodness. For those of you that watch the channel, you might have seen the unboxing video that I did on this. Thank you very much for watching, for those of you that did. And for those of you who commented, sorry for not replying to the comments. I basically just didn't want to give any spoilers as to what I actually think of this. And the easiest way was just not allowing myself to be dragged in. Anyway. So for those of you that didn't see the unboxing video, what are we talking about? And we are talking about the AGT Vixen. This fantastic bit of kit. AGT Airgun Technologies. They are a Czech-based company in Prague. They do the Uragan, which I'm aware of, and I think they do another rifle called the Vulcan. I've not shot either of those. This is the first time I've ever had the pleasure of using one of their bits of kit. Big thank you to Phil and Tracy at Leicestershire Airguns for loaning me this. This is a brand new rifle, hence the unboxing video. And they were interested enough, in my opinion, and asked me to basically spend some time with it and to let them know what I actually think. So I consider myself incredibly lucky. Anyway, let's get into the bones of the rifle. So, this is the Vixen short. Short because the shroud is shorter than the Vixen long. Hence long. I love it when things really are that simple for explanations. Inside this short, fat little shroud, and it is very, beefy. Inside this short, fat little shroud is a CZ barrel, a short CZ barrel. CZ is an old, very well known. If you're into guns, it's a very well known Czech now, not Czechoslovakian. Showing my age now. A Czech gun company. They make one of my favourite air rifles, which is the Air Arms S200. They also make my two favourite bolt action rifles that I own anyway, which is my CZ 455 and 457. I'm a real CZ fanboy, so I try not to be biased. It is only the barrel, so I can see that there's that tie up the two Czech companies together. Why produce your own barrels when somebody down the road is capable of supplying superbly accurate blanks for you? You're going to go there, which is I'm really glad they did, because this hasn't disappointed. Anyway, underneath the shroud you've got a plastic grip, and it is, I think, M-lock. I think that's M-lock with a bit of key mod in it. If you actually look at how much space between the shroud and the grip there is, you're not going to be attaching anything to this handguard at all. And to that end, they've given you a little bit of Picatinny rail here, and a bit of Picatinny rail there, so you can mount a bipod or a light. They actually have a really cool sort of little clip style magazine holder, which actually looks like a magazine in its own right, and it holds two of the AGT magazines, which we'll talk about in a minute. And that just slides onto the bit of Picatinny rail under here, and you can use it as a handguard as well. Use it as a basically handguard. Oh my god, I'm struggling for words. You can use it as a grip. There we go, grip. I knew I'd get there in the end. Anyway, on top you've got a standard Picatinny rail as well to mount your scope and all your other goodness on there. There isn't any 11mm dovetailing on it, which is a shame. I do like that. It's one of the things I really like about the Kralls, for instance. So you are going to have Picatinny mounts for your scopes to be able to mount a scope. When I was doing my initial testing, I was shooting out to 30 to 35 yards. and I had the Element Optics Helix on there. I do hope to put a quick video together on that later on down the line. At the moment I've got my Vortex Viper LPVO, which is a low power variable optic scope. This is a 1:6 times scope, and I tend to normally use it on my Smith & Wesson 1522 for mini rifle, and I also added a canted, easy for me to say, a canted 45 degree red dot, because after I did the initial group shooting and general plinking out to distance, out to sort of 50 yards, I basically wanted to put this setup together, and I've been shooting sort of, I suppose you call it action air, or, you know, air gun mini rifle style shooting, where I set up targets, spinners, and a 1-inch knockdown target at 30 and 35 yards, and then at 10 to 20 yards I set up some HFT knockdown targets, and sort of almost like a dueling tree style target as well, and sort of basically shot off a bench initially with the scope, and then legged it down the garden to sort of get 10 to 15 yards, and then engaged the knockdown targets and then the dueling tree at 20. So sort of switching between the scope and then crossing over towards the red dot for the 10 to 15 yard shooting, and then back to the scope for 20, which was a blistering amount of fun. And with this, I'm going to say, super smooth side lever cocking action on this thing, yeah, so much fun. I'm hoping to get my son out into the garden, and if I have the time, I'll put a little video together of him shooting this on that style of course. But I can't promise anything, don't hold your breath. Anyway, so let's get into this. Off the scope rail, it comes down into the breech area. The breech area has got a natty little, basically a little ball bearing in there that holds the magazine in place. And the magazine for 177 is a 15 shot spring loaded magazine. Basically the wheel just rotates round under spring pressure. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, crikey, my nose is itchy. Let's see if I can get it to rotate. So it just basically, I'm not doing a very good job of this, rotates round. This is not my normal way of doing it. And that is under spring pressure. As you can see, might be able to see, there we go, I've got a pellet in there, and it locks closed, sorry, on the pellet. I would suggest, when you're loading it, just put your finger underneath that hole. It's not necessary, because you can actually load it on a little ledge. There's a little ledge that the magazine does run round enough so that there is a ledge there. But I've when it sort of rotates back to index the pellet, I have lost a couple of pellets on the ground. So I just as a matter of course, I put my finger on the underside of that. As I've already mentioned, the side lever, we'll talk about that again now. The side lever is ambidextrous. You can swap it over. At the moment it's set up for a right hand, but it is apparently really, really easy to switch to a left-handed use. Then we come into the back of the rifle, where we've got a manometer, pressure gauge, and the filling port. The probe goes in there. This is a 300 bar fill, which is, I think it's probably the biggest fill I've ever had to use on a bottle. The bottle itself is only 25 centilitres, so it is quite small. But 300 bar apparently gives you, I think, 150 in the shots. But in the comments, somebody said they get 200 shots. I don't know whether their rifle was 2.2. This is the 177, and you always get slightly less in 177 than you do compared to a 2.2. I found that basically per 10 bar of fill, I get 10 shots ish. So when I did fill it, did have enough air in my tank, because this does chew through your tank's air. When I did have enough air to do a 300 bar fill, it basically, I was getting yeah, 10 shots per 10 bar. It dropped down. So yeah, around about 200 shots. You'd think between 300 and 100 would give you around about 200 shots. So maybe it was slightly less than that, 10 shots per 10 bar. But you know, I'm going to say rough ballpark, 10 shots per 10 bar. Don't know if I said the magazine is a 15 shot magazine in 177. I don't know what it is. I can't remember what it is in 2.2. If I remember, I'll put it down in the comments. Yeah, what else are we going to talk about? Safety catch. Really, really nice safety catch on this. Really positive, really clicky, and really, really well placed. I'm not sure if you'll make it out, but it has got nice, I'm not sure you can see that. But anyway, it's got a nice red ring around it to show you when the safety is in its live mode, its fire mode. And yeah, there is no doubt that this safety catch is on or off. Let's see if we can get the click in. Oh, I mean, this whole rifle smacks of good engineering, in my opinion. Everything is really nice. The cocking lever, the safety catch, the trigger. We're going to go into the trigger now. The trigger is superb. Straight out of the box, I haven't adjusted it. Once again, not my rifle, I wouldn't adjust it anyway unless it was truly terrible. And for the sort of shooting that I've been using this rifle for, you know, the trigger has been more than fine. It's got a, make sure there's nothing in the breech. It has got a more than, yeah, it's got a very short first stage out of the box. And it comes up against a really defined sort of ledge, and then basically, I'll just wait for the cap to move out of the way. Basically, when you pull through, it's got a really defined let off. There's no mistaking when it's going to go. It's predictable. Yeah, absolutely superb. Oh my god, my nose is itchy. I think it's that cat shedding at the moment. Right, the grip is an AR style grip, and it does have sort of storage in the bottom, and it looks as though you could fit batteries, AA and possibly an 18650 in there for your torch. Okay, oh, and the one thing I did forget to mention is overall we've got a neoprene cover on the carbon bottle, which is really, really nice, and an adjustable butt pad. It's adjustable. It's got an Allen screw in the butt pad that you can undo and then move this up and down, which, you know, gives, for me anyway, a really nice shooting position. And that little bit of neoprene on the bottle, you know, it's nice for my soft cheeks. So it really does sort of generally, you know, even though the bottle's not alloy, it is nice to have that extra little bit of neoprene to be able to sort of rest your cheek against. What else can I say about the actual rifle itself? I think I've covered everything on the rifle. What I'll do is I will go into the shooting portion that I did a week or so ago, so I will look completely different, and then come back and have a summing up of my general overall thoughts. Anyway, let's do the shooting section and we'll come back. Ooh. Right, sun setting. It's a beautiful, crisp, I don't think it's quite spring yet, but it's a beautiful evening, or the start of the evening. Let's see if I can do this rifle some justice. I've been plinking with this all day. Well, not all day. I've been plinking with this afternoon on and off when the cat's given me a chance. When she's been indoors. So hopefully I can repeat what I've managed to do with this, because I've shot some awesome groups. Anyway, let's see if I can replicate that now. So it's the AGT Vixen shorts, JSB exact heavy Diablos, 10.34 grains, 4.51 on the head size. Here we go. Oh, I just hope I do okay. I pulled that. Pulled the last shot. That was me. Damn it. Right. Let's go and get the target. Right, I really should do it the other way with the chair, but anyway, here we go. That little outlier there, don't know if you can see it, that was me, I think, and this one over here, most definitely me. So, hey, falling over the chair here. It's not the best group I've shot today. It's certainly not the worst either. I do seem to have a habit of just pulling the occasional shot, and I know it's me, I know it's not a flyer. Yeah, I don't know, I think I'm probably just slightly off today, but anyway, I'm not gonna, as you probably noticed, the beginning part of the video I didn't look like this, and when I come to do the summing up at the end of the video as well, I'm not going to look like this. It's such a nice day today, and I've had a good afternoon on and off plinking with this, so I thought I'd try and get the shooting portion on camera, which is what this is. So let's get on with the next bit. Right, so what do I think to this rifle overall? Well, in case you hadn't guessed, I love it. I really wish I had the money in the bank to be able to buy this. If I had the money available to me, I would, yeah, I'd be buying this rifle without any shadow of doubt. Yeah, I've had so much fun shooting it, and it's allowed me to shoot in a way that I've not really shot before. That sort of actiony style of airgun shooting is not something I'd really thought about. And it has been, for me anyway, it's been an absolute hoot. It's definitely something I would like to introduce people to. I think there's a market for it. I also think it would be an incredibly good way to get, you know, the younger generation interested in our sport, and that's where I see things like this really being of use. This might not appeal to a lot of you guys out there. I mean, you might be far more interested in this thing I've got coming up next. Check this out. Oh, this beauty. Look at the way that reflects. Anyway, yeah, you guys might be more interested in something like that. Hopefully I'll be able to get a video out on that one in the not too distant future, if it ever stops snowing, which is a real problem I've had today. Anyway, this I see as sort of like a gateway to airgun shooting for the younger shooter. You know, this is far more Call of Duty. This talks to my son and the young lad that lives next door. You know, they are far more, you know, they're far more excited by the prospect of shooting this than my Huntsman or my R10 or, you know, that beautiful thing that I've got down there. Far more excited at the prospect of shooting this, and then if you can add some form of dynamicism and timing to it, you know, something along the lines of Action Air, mini rifle, I think you've possibly got the ability to have a really interesting start, an introduction to shooting. You know, it's definitely a problem that we've got. If you see my demographics, you'll know on my videos, you know, the majority of people that are watching this are above the age of 35. You know, most people are above the age of 40. You know, there are very few, you know, 18 to 24-year-olds that watch my videos, and even less 14 and upwards. You know, kids just on the whole don't seem that interested in shooting air guns, and I think that's, you know, from what I see down at the club and the clubs that I've gone to, that's definitely an issue. So getting kids involved and getting young adults involved in shooting is a real problem, and that's something that we need to do something about. And I think stuff like this is the key to that, because this is going to talk to them far more than a lot of other stuff, and you can use it in a far more interesting way, I think. You know, and it's up to the clubs to sort of innovate and to get out there and to try and look at new ways of making shooting fun for the younger generation, to make sure that we have people that are going to come up and are going to continue to support this sport and the industry that surrounds it. You know, it really does worry me that, you know, we're at a top heavy sort of age group, that we're only getting older and then dying out. So you know, yeah. But anyway, enough about that. This rifle itself has been superb. I have thoroughly enjoyed shooting this. As I said, if I had the money, I wouldn't hesitate to be throwing it down on the counter at Leicestershire Airguns and buying this. It does a good 11.3, 11.4 foot-pounds with JSB heavies, this particular rifle. And if you give me 2 seconds, I want to show you, what have I done with them? Oh, there they are. So, I've already shown you this target. That is the target that I shot on camera. And this is a target that I shot at 35 yards, and yes, I pulled that shot. This is the sort of target that I was regularly achieving at 35 to 40 yards. You know, it's a one hole group rifle. You know, that CZ barrel is absolutely spot on. This rifle is absolutely spot on. Yeah, I'm going to be gutted to hand this back, and I think it's the first time I've probably been truly like, no, I really don't want to let it go. So on that point, this video has gone on for far longer, and I think I'm going to be knocking on the door of 20 minutes by the time we've done this. So I apologise for the length of video. Hope it's been of interest. You know, if you'd like to do a discussion, if you'd like me to do a discussion video, you know, on maybe stuff like the lead ban and the history, or the future of shooting, you know, maybe I'll do a live stream or something like that. Please mention in the comments below, because it'd be great to talk to some of you guys out there and get your opinions. Yeah. Hopefully I'm going to get the video done on that rifle, and hopefully I'll also be able to get a short video done on the Helix scope that I've been using as well. And until the next video, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, and I look forward to making the next video for you guys. Cheers.